Welcome to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. Mr. Barber is a preacher, a ventriloquist, a barefoot runner, and writes 2 blogs. When Jerrie communicates, he encourages people, try not to learn very much. Find a mustard seed. In the next few minutes, try not to learn very much. Look for something you can do to move a mountain, remove a stumbling block, or provide a stepping stone for yourself or someone else. And now, here's Jerrie with this week's mustard seed.
We continue this week our discussion with John Whitwell, a first cousin of mine and who has been a very successful band director all his adult life. John, it's good to have you back again this week, and I want you to start by telling 2 things. You started it last week. How did many of those people encourage you, and especially as you labored with a speech impediment of stuttering? How did you overcome that? And then how did other people encourage you? And then how have you encouraged other people during your profession as a band director?
Thank you, Jerry. My speech impediment was severe when I was very young, and it stayed severe for many years. I learned through some of my teachers, music teachers, band conductors, that I could probably become a band conductor. I could go to college and become a teacher. And they were so encouraging to me. And I think they saw that I was a fine trombone player at 2 high schools, and the Abilene Christian and the University of Michigan. And they encouraged me. So with that encouragement, I completed my undergraduate degree at Abilene Christian University, 1965, and decided that I was going to move back to Michigan with my young wife, Carol Blackburn from Oklahoma City. And I took a job in Jackson, Michigan, teaching beginning band at an elementary school. And it was a school district that was growing quickly, and they were hiring a lot of teachers. And I called and made an appointment to audition or interview, and the superintendent was very kind. He said, I like your resume. I've enjoyed talking with you. Do I detect a slight stutter? And I said, yes, sir. He said, well, we have some other teachers that are great teachers who stutter. And he hired me. And that was also very encouraging. And I think the work with students empowered me to get up every day and go in and love teaching band, teaching young people to love music, teaching them to love hard work, teaching them discipline, and all the things that are so important in our lives. But I still stutter, as you can hear, and I stayed in that first job, that school district, for 10 years. I taught beginners only for 2 years, and then junior high school, grade 7, 8, 9 for 2 years, and then high school for 6 years. And I held offices in the State Band Association and other venues. And a job opened up in the summer of 1975 as I was completing my master's degree at the University of Michigan. And the new director of bands came to the University of Michigan, H. Robert Reynolds. My earlier work at Michigan was done under Dr. William D. Ravelli and Elizabeth Green, who taught conducting. A job opened up in Ann Arbor in the summer of 1975, and I did not apply. I was afraid. I thought I'm successful here, but that's a much bigger job, a major university town, and I just did not apply. And it turned out that they did not fill the job and did a second round of interviews. And everybody encouraged me, including my wife, who was very supportive. And I interviewed and got the job. It was the best band at that time in the state of Michigan. I mean, there were several really good bands, but the Ann Arbor Huron High School band had been conducted by Edward Downing, who retired his career as president of the Interlochen Center for the Arts. And it was difficult to follow him because he was spectacular. And but I had 6 good years in Ann Arbor. And Mr. Reynolds, Dr. Ravelli, came and to my rehearsals anytime I would ask. And that led to me moving in 1981 to be director of bands at Abilene Christian, in 87 to go to Stephen F. Austin State University, where I spent another 6 years. And then my final job was at Michigan State as director of bands.
I have talked with you quite a bit and learned a lot about you on YouTube, and I'll just say this now. If you'd like to know more about John and his work, if you'll go to YouTube and type in John Whitwell, you'll find video after video and discussion and lectures and bands that he's directed. How did you use the encouragement that others gave you to give to other people? How did you apply that principle to the students that you had?
I think every person who ever lives has some issue with themselves. I wish I were a better speaker. I wish I were a better trombone player. I wish I were a better teacher, a better minister. And it's a journey that we take. And it's a wonderful journey that we get to take. And my parents and my teachers had caused me to believe that I could do what I wanted and to be patient in the process of my journey. But I loved the students. I had many students who went on to become band conductors. Some I met in beginning band in Jackson. Some who played in my band in Ann Arbor. Some from Abilene Christian. Some from Stephen F. Austin, and several from Michigan State in major university positions. And it's stimulating to work with talented young people and to see them grow. And it caused me to want to grow continually.
John, I've only been at your house about 6 hours, and I've already heard a conversation how you, after years of retirement, are still encouraging people that you've had as students. How do you do that? How do you continue to practice that ministry of encouragement in your retirement?
Well, working in music particularly, and I'm sure in other disciplines, we establish a relationship of closeness and quality and appreciation, understanding with our students. And they continue to ask us questions. When I was much younger, they would ask me to help them get a job, write a letter for me. And just today I had a call from a brilliant former student from Stephen F. Austin. He's considering a career change, which is he's 58 years old and is one of the great conductors in educational circles and in the professional orchestral world. And he's going to maybe be working with some of my other students in his new job if he takes it. And ours The music world is really quite a small community of teachers, and it gets smaller with age. The circles overlap a lot. And so I'm honored when I have a call from a student for any reason.
Good. It's been good to talk with you. I always enjoy. John and I talk about every 2 or 3 months, and I enjoy and am encouraged every time I talk with him. It's good to be visiting with here in his home these days. And so, thank you for being with us today, and I look forward to talking to you again next week as we look for another mustard seed.
Thank you for listening to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. If you found a mustard seed, send a text or email with the link to a friend. This podcast is brought to you in partnership with the Ministry League Network. Ministry League is a global platform dedicated to equipping Christians with the tools they need for ministry, worship, and personal growth. Featuring over 50 podcasts created by members of the Lord's Church, Ministry League provides uplifting and biblically sound content for all ages. Through the Ministry League app, you can access these podcasts, a digital songbook for worship, free Bible study materials, curriculum, and other ministry resources to strengthen your walk with Christ. Don't miss out on the latest updates and podcast episodes. Subscribe to the Ministry League YouTube channel for daily content and exclusive insights into the work of the Lord's Church, or visit ministryleague.com to explore what's possible. Ministry League, equipping you for every good work. Thank you for listening. Jerrie looks forward to next week as we continue to collect and plant mustard seeds.